Hello, everybody. Welcome to Galaxy Brains, where it is neither galaxy nor brain, just fallacy and shame. I am Patrick Daugherty, joined today by Denny Carter. And Denny, I hear you want to get us going with the news that they are turning the Pro Bowl, I think I read, into a seniors retreat. I didn't know if it was for high schoolers or for senior citizens, but am I correct? And what are they doing with the Pro Bowl?
They're going camping. No, it's the 2023 Pro Bowl will feature a 7-on-7 flag football game, dodgeball, and other various activities that sound campish to me. Personally, I have some flag football related trauma related to the expo that we attended in Ohio. So this was triggering for me. I don't know if I'm going to get the call to be the quarterback, for the NFC or the AFC. We'll have to see on that. But honestly, I'm wondering, what do you think should replace the Pro Bowl that we've gotten used to? Because I have some ideas. Do you have any ideas as to how we can just replace this event with an entirely new experience?
I do, because I actually like a lot of the stuff they're turning into more of like a skills competition, and I really like some of the events I read about. One of them is fly fishing with Richie Incognito. One of them is playing basketball with the entire 2002 Miami Dolphins football team. I'm not sure why they chose them. A lot of stuff. There's whittling. There's basket making with Andrew Luck. Actually,
right.
He's kind of dipping a toe back into the NFL. And frankly, I just think the old event was stale. This sounds kind of unique. And there actually are. So I just thought a lot of football. There's some football related stuff still. They're not trying to just get rid of football. They have a competition where who can like most vociferously point, like when the other team jumps off sides, like, no, right. It was them. Another one was like, who can most demonstratively pretend, like Mac Jones, like I can't hear the signals and all. That's like why he threw an interception.
Yes.
Him claiming. And so there are some football related it needed a shake up though.
And some other ideas I've had, you can have a tax seminar with Brett Favre on how to exploit certain tax loopholes. You can have a roundtable, a player roundtable. The coaches can jump in on the relevance of NATO in the 21st century. These guys have big brains. They're smart guys. We need them. We need them talking in an intellectual sense, I think.
I might not let the coaches jump in on the NATO one.
Yeah, well,
I'm not sure what kind of emails they've been reading or what kind of tweets they've been bookmarking. Now they bookmark the tweets. They don't fave them. They know not to fave them anymore because anyone can see.
Yes.
But yeah, they're bookmarking their tweets. We'll see. I think it'll still be a good event. Denny, Zach Greinke, who you may have heard of, he's an iconoclastic, mercurial, former Cy Young Award winner, currently and formerly pitching for the Kansas City Royals. And there's been a lot of baseball-related fantasy football controversies here. Someone got slapped. I would argue this is a much bigger scandal because Zach Greinke has revealed himself to be both a multiple quarterback drafter and a volume trade offerer. Like one of those people who you're just like at work and you're like, why do I have like 10 emails from Yahoo for some reason? Because Zach Greinke just proposed 10 different trades, and like literally every one of them is bad, and they're all basically the same trade with only subtle variations,
right?
Which is more annoying, people who draft multiple quarterbacks with the intention to, quote, trade them, or people who offer 10 to 12 trade offers a day?
I'm going to go with the former because it is the most galaxy brain thing to do, to be like, I'm going to get all the good players from this position so no one will have access to them on their teams. And then I'm going to trade them for, no, it literally, it doesn't work like that. And one of his teammates was like, it's a 1 quarterback league. So it doesn't, it doesn't matter that you have like 4 elite quarterbacks Zach Greinke took Josh Allen and Justin Herbert back to back in 1 quarterback league. How great is that? I believe Zach Greinke is our brother Galaxy Brainer, honestly.
He is, and he loves to do media hits. He really does not like to do media hits, so he'll definitely come on with us sometime. But yeah, I mean that is the like maybe my favorite fantasy football cliche, the multiple quarterback drafter with the intent to trade. And it's usually because it's like the 8th or 9th round and they don't know any of the receivers who are left. So they just like draft multiple quarterbacks and then claim they had a plan.
That's the best.
Not even Zach Greinke, Denny, drafted Mac Jones. And Mac Jones, I heard he might play this week. Is this possibly true? I hear there's been some developments with Mac Jones.
Yeah, well, after he was carried off the field in extraordinary pain. Okay, and
Literally
this,
screaming.
yeah, not making fun or but in an unbelievable amount of pain. He has a high ankle sprain, usually a multi-week injury, and the Patriots are acting like, hey, yeah, he might play this week. You never know. Most teams, I think, would have said on Monday, "Oh yeah, no, Mac's out for like a really long time. Like we're thinking like 6 weeks, but we're hoping it's like less than 2 months at this point." But the Patriots, no, they are unflinching in their dishonesty. They would never, ever give a competitive advantage to the team they're playing. They'll say, "No, Mac might play," which is just horse manure.
Yeah, I mean, the first time ever I've seen a player who was literally bubbling as he was being carried down the stairs by two grown men, and then announced with an injury that is at a minimum a 2 to 4 week injury, claim he might try to play. And it would also be the first time I've ever seen a player hit by a white Chrysler LeBaron in the middle of a game and then play the following week. So I believe that's how Mac Jones suffered his high.
That hasn't happened since 1988.
Drove over his foot. Yeah, it actually used to happen a lot in the 70s and kind of the early 80s, and the last one was 88. Until 2022. So Mac Jones is breaking new ground. Yeah, Patriots, Denny, they were committed to the bit of Galaxy Brains. The Patriots are quite committed to their bit. But it was a better bit when they went 14-2 every year. And now people are like, yeah, whatever. I mean, the 6-11 teams claiming the quarterback play. Like,
yeah, whatever. It's okay.
So, yeah. And a big part of that, Denny, was Josh McDaniels. He was a part of the Patriots aura. He thought it would simply follow him to Las Vegas. Hasn't really worked out that way. I mean, in his mind, Josh McDaniels thought he beat the Titans in week 3. That's because he fed Mac Hollins. Like, his whole reason he took the Raiders job was to get Mac Hollins' career going, basically. And he did that. He accomplished that. He flew the mission accomplished banner. But then that was not enough for owner Mark Davis, who summoned McDaniels for a, quote, lengthy closed-door meeting after the team fell to 0-3. And did I just have to ask you, how bad of a hire do you have to be to end up a worse stunt hire than John Gruden? And just, is that the way Josh McDaniels is trending?
Pretty bad, yeah. And to get a call from the boss after 3 games to be like, this is not what you said. This is not what I expected. This is not what we talked about before the season. So, let's get this going. I would say that's a bad sign for a guy who, if we remember, and the Zoomers can't remember this, they were babies, literally. But a guy who completely flamed out the last time he had a head coaching job. We were hoping that perhaps the years and age had changed him. And man, it seems like that's not the case so far. And I believe an 0-4 start would make his seat extraordinarily hot in Vegas.
Yeah, he picked the wrong owner to mess with, basically, because by NFL standards, Mark Davis is poor. Like, he's a very, 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 very rich man. But, like, Mark Davis had to, like, mortgage his second home in Tahoe to afford Devontae Adams. And when he sees Josh McDaniels giving Mac Hollins 15 targets per game, he basically he rings. He's like, "Get me the elevator down to the locker room, right? Because I want my house back." And this is not what I was told.
Listen, if we get to 0-4 for the Raiders, Josh McDaniels is going to have to meet with the ghost of Al Davis. I think that's next up.
The ghost of Al Davis would just immediately rip out his heart. He would be, and then he would rehire Art Shell. And he would just do something really. He would make a move. He made decisive moves.
You got to do it.
That's what the Raiders need. Do we need a decisive move to end this show, Denny? Is that it for today's Galaxy Brains?
I think we do.
Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for expanding your mind, as always. For Denny Carter, I am Patrick Daugherty, and we'll be back next week.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.